What is going on, Colts Nation? Here's Jamal Lawrence. I'm Eric Smith, your co-host of the Colts Cast.
Yo,
Woo.
yo.
Hey, let's get it. Football is back. Colts football is back. I mean, officially, I like to say unofficially because we're still in the preseason, but it is officially back. Hey, Jamal was back there. He was at the game. Let's talk about it, though. The Indianapolis Colts, they fell to the Denver Broncos in the preseason opener at home, 34-30. A lot of points in a preseason game. I mean, that was a lot of going on. Anthony Richardson saw his first action under center since his season-ending injury last year. There's a lot to unpack here, and I think we have to start with the offense first, Jamal, because that's the name of the game today. You okay to start there?
Yeah, we can start with the offense. That's fine. But actually, before we do, first off, y'all know the deal. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button for us.
Hey.
Drop a comment below. Let us know how you felt about the preseason game. Let us know the good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly, whatever you thought was great, whatever you didn't like. Let us know in the comments below. We like
Let us
to
know
hear what y'all talk about.
Are we gonna start wearing Guardian caps now? I saw a lot of players.
Yeah, well, JT had one on.
Colin
Colin had one on, and Grant Stewart as well had one on.
Yeah, I think there was a few other players too.
I'm sure there were. Yeah,
I wonder if they start using that in the regular season.
Rodney Thomas II had one or two. Yeah, that's
yeah.
Hey, I don't know. That's a good question.
Elephant in the room. Let's talk about Anthony Richardson. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. To start the game, Anthony Richardson and JT in the same backfield. Gotta love it. I mean, it felt good. It felt electric. I heard there was like a standing ovation, basically, as soon as right before the first snap. Right?
Yeah, it was hype. It was hype.
Yeah, it was hype. And then, boy, 2 yards and 3 plays on that first drive, 3 and out to start the game. Felt that Richardson's actually was a tiny bit off, on that third down play. And then second drive, we got some quick tempo going after that big throw to Mo Cox, first down. And another third down came, and he didn't hit Granson in stride, and that could have been a first down. It wasn't. Halted the drive. He hit him a little behind, so the defender had a chance to make that tackle behind the first down marker. I mean, Jamal, what are we thinking? I mean, he only threw 4 passes.
Yeah,
completed 2, 25 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, rushed for 1 yard on 1 carry. Well, I mean, what do we make out of this?
I think it's honestly, and I've seen so many mixed reactions across all social media, and even some fans out in the stands as well. It's impossible to make a positive or a negative. I think we have to stay pretty neutral with it. Now, I think we can have a little bit of emotion in there because we're all human, and humans don't really have the ability to control their emotions as much as they probably should. But I think from one side, I could sit here and blabber on about how important accuracy is and how we knew coming out of college accuracy was an issue, and then how we kind of figure out how can we make this better? What can he do to make this better? Then on the other end, I can come out and say, hey, my man had 8 plays, seven plays out there. How do you expect him to be able to do a whole lot when the second play of the game was a blitz right through the B gap, or through the C gap, and there was no one there. Like,
he threw it away, that's the perfect. I mean, yes, he could have turned negative into a positive if he was GOAT status right there, but you threw it away. You didn't take a sack. I mean, what are we mad about here, right?
Yeah, we can't be too mad about what we see going on. And of course, we all wanted to see the hype. We wanted to see what was going on because of what we saw last year, the first glimpse. But I will say, I knew that the first string wouldn't play a lot. But of course, unfortunately, with that first stalled-out drive, I was kind of hoping they would just kind of wash that one and say, we can get you an extra one in there. Because I didn't expect to see Joey Flacco come in by the time that third drive started. But, it is what it is. Richardson, of course, we already know. This is his first game back on the field in almost a year?
Yeah.
Almost a year in this game speed style thing. So he still has some work to do. That's clear. I think that I would love to see him play a little bit more during this preseason.
Well, Shane Steichen, I don't know what they're going to do week 2, but I think he said before the game he was only going to get about 2 series in. So,
right,
I mean,
and that's fair.
Yeah, it should have been longer though. I mean,
yeah,
3 and out, boom, boom, boom. I don't like that. I mean, I guess he got a first down, but still, it was far too quick to me. But yeah, I saw the haters on X, on social media. Of course they're gonna shit on Anthony Richardson for that performance. I mean, it wasn't great. I mean, but it was a small sample size. Like you said, hasn't played football in almost a year. Was it a good showing? No. Does he have some rust? Absolutely. I mean, this is the first time he saw some real life action, outside of camp. So question I asked Jamal. I mean, what do we want to see him in week 2 against the Cardinals?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he has to play against the Cardinals. The only thing I'm afraid of is usually when they do these joint practices like this, they get so many reps during the week that they won't even bother playing them during the scrimmage. And of course, it's a Saturday night scrimmage. It's gonna be a good time to play underneath the lights. But I could easily see them not playing them because of the PT they'll get during these joint practices. But I do think that he should be out there for a minimum of 4 drives just to kind of show people because you have to see that 3 and outs happen. They happen all the time. And we can't stick to, I think that should be a loose number. That 2 drive thing should be a loose number based off of what we see. If we see success, then sure it can be 2. But if we don't see anything, I think you should kind of give them a couple more plays. Let them have a little fun. That's my personal opinion.
Shoulder looked fine. He's still able to run really well. I don't think we can fully evaluate him after 1 preseason game across 2 drives, but am I a tiny bit concerned? Maybe a little bit.
Sure.
The fact that we just stalled out like that, I don't like seeing that. It's reminiscent of about 2 years ago of just the offense being, it was very lackluster. So I don't want to overreact. It is preseason. So I think we'll be fine. Again, if he plays week 2, we'll get some more data, and then we can really look at Anthony Richardson there.
I just really want to see him hit people in the stride because like that Granson catch would have been fun. Rip and go.
Yeah.
Hit him in stride. Even Granson's other miss that you can tell was some disconnect from them. I think he thought Granson was continuing the route on, but he kind of stopped it, and so they missed him. He missed him on that one. So those little things, they're little things though.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Granson, let's talk about this tight end girl. I feel like they were killing it today. They were getting the bulk of the targets, right? I see why we have 89 tight ends on the roster. There's a lot to like here. Mo Cox got some action. Jelani Woods had 2 targets. Will Mallory was out there. He caught some good balls, man. So I think the one bright spot out of this offense was the tight end group. We got to see them in action. They were making some good catches. I feel pretty good. I don't know where the pecking order is really. It seems like Mo Cox and Colin Granson were basically with the starters. Will Mallory, Jelani Woods were with the second unit. Is that what you saw?
Yeah, that's exactly what I saw. And I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I understand, that Mo is an 8-year vet in the league right now, but I'll be the first person to tell you that I did not expect him to just be in the starting lineup like that, just because it's been quiet. And of course, I know with us continuing to pick up all these players, I obviously knew he's still a piece of the puzzle when we hadn't cut him after, picking up 17 other tight ends. However, I just didn't expect to see him, coming out the gate, just boom, this is my show. So interesting. So I think the pecking order starts with him, man. I think it has to.
It seems like it does. And I think we've always been a little like, is Mo Cox really that tight end one for the Colts?
Yeah.
But really, I won't say he's underrated as a blocker. We know he's a really good blocker. Right. And, Shane Steichen likes that. He likes tight ends that can block. And I think he has a role in this offense going forward. Because I really like to see more push up front for JT. Like I want to see in the regular season, maybe not in the preseason, but I want to see JT rip off some runs and needs all the help up front, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, he has to get the help up front. And I think that once these guys can get a feel for what's going on, they'll definitely do better. But we're going to see JT hit that rare form. I can tell he's going to hit that rare form. I think he's going to be a little caged animal until the season starts.
Yeah, he ain't going to rip it in the preseason. Was Jason Bean the best quarterback today?
The quarterback number 12 on the roster. I didn't even realize we had this meeting.
We played 5 quarterbacks today.
Impressive stuff. In the first quarter, we were on Sam. In the first quarter, we went through AR, Flacco, who Flacco had some darts too, man. Flacco, he has some pretty good throws out
still
there.
Got it. Like, I'm glad we picked him up.
That him and AD's connection is pretty nice, which I expected to be pretty easy because they got a lot of practice time together in that in the second group. But anyway, like you said, Sam was in there. Then, like you said, Bean got in there. We're running 4 quarterbacks.
Bean was running it. I mean, he was
Yeah.
our leading rusher for the day. That man, dual threat. But I don't want to hype Bean up too much because he's probably just going to be QB5.
For sure.
I mean, he would have to have
Practice
an
squad.
impressive preseason, for him to move up. But it was nice to see him killing those third stringers out there. But look, Blake Freeland. Hey. I don't know why. Didn't you have him in your mock draft like a few years ago? You were like, Blake Freeland is the truth.
Yeah. No, I think we put him for what? Don't even start. I'll go back and listen. I'll even tag the episode up here so people can go back and look in here if I was getting that. No. But I did call for him. I say, it's a big guy coming out of BYU. He could be an integral piece at that right tackle spot, especially where we need. Or actually, I said that I wanted him to learn at the right tackle spot, behind Braden Smith, or even if he bumped over to left tackle, give him a chance to learn because we're going to need somebody in the future. Clearly today wasn't a day.
Hey, look, man.
Go ahead.
I pray to the football gods that Braden Smith stays healthy, plays all 17 games this season. That's all I'm going to Hey, look, anything else with this offense?
I no, because I can't wait for you to talk about somebody. I know you got some slick stuff to say.
Who?
Go ahead, do your thing, bro. Are we done with offense?
Let's get it. Let's get to this defense.
Go ahead and talk about Dallas. Go ahead. I know you got something.
Who?
Dallas Flower. Oh, who? Dallas. Go ahead. And Mr. 2 PIs.
Look, I like to start with the good and then transition to the bad. Hey, look, this defensive line, I think looks really good. Even with the loss of Samson, Grover Stewart, you can tell just looks amazing. I think it was the first play. I mean, he broke through that offensive line, and we all know when Grover Stewart isn't on the field, our run defense just takes a hit. They love running up the middle when Grover Stewart ain't there, so I don't like that. I don't know if Raekwon Davis got a lot of. I don't even know if he played. I don't remember seeing him, but I didn't watch the entire game. I was in transit. I like the defensive line. Really like Latu. First snap of the game, my man got double teamed. Like that. That's how much respect they gave Latu. He got double teamed first rep. Like, can we talk about how Latu might be that? Like, I mean, wrecking havoc on the outside. He's as advertised so far. I know it's preseason, but it's better to see the good than the bad, right? Like, if we saw Latu struggling, we have a completely different conversation. But we got to hype it up when the hype is real. At least from what we've seen, I like this defensive line. That at least in the few snaps I saw with the starters, but then seeing Latu with that second unit, how'd you feel about him?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I mean, I saw him, of course, even when he got that he was getting blocked, and I thought that he lost the battle. And I said, "Oh, they're going to just run it right up his gut." And guess what? Exactly what he did. He broke off that and made the tackle. That's stuff you want to see. I mean, that's out of a rookie. I understand he's a first-round draft pick. That's a rookie getting guarded by NFL tackle, a left tackle at that, and is able to break off and then still make a play. So that's the kind of stuff we want to see. Development is there, and I think he can definitely he can shine. He has to continue to get better every single day because it's his for the taking.
And he had an interview like in the third or fourth quarter. I don't know if you saw Jamal, but that man, he was, you were at the game, I forgot. But he was wanting to get back in the game. He was pretty mad. Like he wants it. Like I love to see that. I know a lot of players want it. They want to play, but like Latu, I feel like he's playing with a chip on his shoulder. Like everyone counting him out and because of his neck, his injury. But like this man wants to show everybody like why I was the first defensive player taken. I love to see it. Shout out to Zaire Franklin. Even in the few snaps he got, made impact. Even in coverage in the middle of the field. Did you see that? Woo! That's something Franklin always got. I won't say clowned on, but they would if they would say, what was the weakness of Franklin, and be like, it's pass coverage. Yeah. He looked, he looked really good. But star of the day, the guy you don't like, the star of the day,
The guy I don't like.
Anymore. Oh my
Hey,
goodness.
he was out there balling.
He could teach a class on how to conduct an open field tackle as a defensive back. That man, I mean, it looked like he almost suplexed him on that
Yeah.
first tackle. Then he had that acrobatic, athletic interception after Zaire made that play on Samaj Perine. I mean, Kenny Moore, we have to we literally have to give him his flowers. I mean, Kenny Moore is my MVP. I don't know who yours is, Jamal, but like,
Without question, he was all over the field. Every time I turned my head, he was somewhere else making a play or he disrupting a play, and that's what we need every single time. That's what we need. If we could have a Kenny Moore at every spot out there, man, we would be golden. But when he
yep,
steps up and does what he needs to do, the presence is felt.
best slot corner in the league.
There
I'm
it
gonna
is.
stand by that. His counterpart, not his counterpart, but his teammate, Micah Abraham. I'm liking him too. He was a slot cornerback too. I like him. Hey, I know it's week 1, but we got to talk about who we like, who we don't like. I thought the defensive backs had a pretty good day. Like Jalen Jones, he had a nice pass
Couple
breakup.
breakups, yeah.
Like we keep talking about the starters because like you said Flowers. We about to get it. So Dallas
You
Flower.
gonna give him his flowers?
Oh man, yeah.
That's how you say, "Oh man, go ahead."
Oh man, he had a rough day. I won't lie. He had a rough day. I mean, 2 DPIs, like clear DPIs. Like on one of them, I was like, man, and y'all might be bugging out. And then they showed a replay. I was like, God damn. So outside of the 2 DPIs, I mean, I felt like he was getting beat a couple times. Again, I'm not overreacting, but I do see why Jalen Jones is in that first unit right now. So, hey, I mean, what you gotta say, Jamal?
All I got to say about it is, I mean, he's coming off a major injury, so we'll definitely, respect that. Respect the fact that he hadn't had a lot of time back on the field. Of course, you're getting your body back healed up or whatever the case is. That game speed is different. It's different, and I'm sure the nerves are there as well. When it's different when you're in practice with the people you're around every single day. When you got to strap up, whether it's a preseason game or a legitimate game, I'm sure you got to feel a little nervousness. But with that being said, we can't see what we saw because I mean, like one of the plays where I forgot who he was guarding, but they called a pass. I mean, EJ was like out in the flats, and I mean, EJ almost looked a little bad because he wasn't there to make up because Dallas had got burned. Dallas beat by 3 or 4 steps at that point, so they called an easy pass. So this kind of stuff, of course, we knew it was coming, and it's going to continue to come. And I think it's one of
I
those
didn't know it was
situations.
coming.
We knew our secondary would have issues, and I know that it was. I understand that Dallas is not a starter, whatever the case is, but
He ain't started yet.
Yeah. What it's going to come back to is what we all said. Listen, and I said this last episode, I believe it was. Colts are going to have to score 35 points a game to win games.
Oh man,
And I'm sticking to my guns. I
Nah.
understand that Bo Nix was in there for a while, and Zach Wilson's he's an NFL quarterback. He played for the Jets for a few years, whatever the case is. I completely understand that, but it's one of those situations where, again, in a small sample size of the preseason game, however, there are mistakes that happen on the defense side of the ball. Obviously, the offense didn't look clean either. But without those KMO interceptions, without KMO making those big plays like that, I think we're talking about a completely different ways today.
I think our defense is a little top heavy in a lot of departments. Our depth isn't especially in our defensive back group is not strong. So I think that's where we saw the deficiencies. Like the points weren't coming up in the first quarter.
Right. They were all garbage time, but
Denver didn't score a point in the first quarter. So
right.
Not even garbage time. You talk about when our starters weren't in, when we started getting deep in our depth charts, that's where you saw a lot of points. Bo Nix did play a lot, and Bo Nix had a really good day. 15, 21, 125 yards, touchdown, no interceptions. He also ran for 17. Like Bo Nix is older than like 2 or 3 years older than Anthony Richardson. He's got some experience, so yeah, he's gonna look pretty good against these guys that are trying to make the 53-man roster. So I'm not surprised at all. I am a little surprised that they put up as many touchdowns as they did. I mean, it was a little crazy, but again, don't want to overreact this game.
Definitely not. Yeah.
I think they should cut Eric Johnson immediately. This I I look, I don't play football, but I know like at least a little bit about it. I mean, he is a defensive tackle. He's looking at the ball and he still jumped on that 4th down. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't. That is that the same thing with like wide receivers on offense. Like you're looking at your quarterback, you're looking when the center snaps the ball, and you still jump. I never understood that. I don't know if you can speak on that, Jamal. You a baller. I mean, you was a star offensive lineman, so you let me know because I don't understand that.
There really is no excuse. There is no excuse. You watch the ball. It's just that plain and simple. You watch the center, you watch the ball. Once the ball moves, then you make your move. But there's no other excuse as to why you move. You can be a second late because the best man is going to win. The lower man is going to win. So it doesn't matter even if you don't get off the ball first. You can react. So
okay, so I'm not out of line there.
No. When you react, sometimes you win in life. When you are the first person to take the action, you get L's like that.
Getting into special teams, Anthony Gould. However, I'm pretty
they
sure
said both.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I honestly I don't know. Even when I was like got back home and I turned on the TV because I was running back to the first drive, one broadcaster said Gould, one broadcaster said Gold, and I'm like, y'all sitting right beside each other. So which one is it?
And we get shitted on. At least I do. I don't know. I'll at least in the comments for the Colts cast, people will correct me all the time. Like,
yeah.
It ain't a Donnie Mitchell, it's a Donnie. Like, I'm like, damn, I'm sorry. So I think we just have to bring him on. You know, we have to bring him on the Colts cast. And
we got to get him on.
That's the first question we ask. Hey, look.
Yeah. Say your name.
Say, full name, middle name, all that. We need all that. But he had a pretty long return, 49 yards. This new kickoff is so weird, but it's going to make the field shorter for the offense. It's all for the offense, you know. Offense sells tickets. Oh, yeah. So 49-yard return, gotta love it for our offense. I will say, like, Matt Gay, I don't care if it's preseason.
You're getting a lot of bread to not be making
a
lot.
I don't care if it's you can't be missing like that. It was wide left. It wasn't even. And I was sitting with my dad because we were watching. And I was like, oh, they had the other kicker in, right? Spencer Schrader. Like, nah, they said Gay. I said, no, they didn't say that. And then I rewinded it.
Yeah.
I was kind of mad because this is reminiscent of our kicking issues that we've all seen. And again, I'm gonna say this every 5 minutes. Maybe I'm overreacting here. It's just preseason, but
it is just preseason. But kicking's, in my opinion, kicking's a little different. Okay. These guys have one job, and and I don't mean that disrespectfully, but I mean like when you're on the sidelines, like they're constantly kicking. They're constantly kicking. They constantly kick at practice. You know, they're not really getting these breaks like the first group or second group do because you're kicking nonstop. And when you're getting paid that paycheck like he got, then I expect those kickings to be Adam Vinatieri in his prime style.
Like what kind of percentage are we expecting in them hit? Like 90,
93, 94? I mean,
so we'll reevaluate. I mean, he 1 for 2 in the preseason, so we'll see what his preseason numbers look like by the end of the season.
Because we know how last season it ended shaky. He went on that mean dry spell, but neither here nor there.
Hey, well, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Yeah. That's all I had, Jamal. I mean, I think it was refreshing to see football back, but Colts football back. I was really excited. Like as soon as Anthony Richardson, like they panned the camera to him, I was like, yes, like we are out here. And then it was all downhill. But
you know when I knew it was going to start? I knew it was going to start when I got there and I walked in the stadium and I'm like, dang man, why isn't the roof or the anything open right now? That's weird. Usually they have it open up, and the doors open at
You
11.
talked about that last year a lot, like that we
because it's
didn't
never open. It's never
yeah.
open. It's that's the biggest waste of taxpayer dollars I've ever seen in my life. I don't know what have we paid all this money for in taxes to build this insane stadium with the roof that's never open. I can go grab the program right now and I can read the stats to y'all. I remember some of them, so I think I'll make this quicker. But since the stadium was built, there have been 173 games played in that stadium, maybe 170. Out of those, guess how many games the roof and the window were open for? The roof and the window. Don't even worry about it. 27. 27 games. All right. Guess how many games the roof was open but not the window? I believe the roof. Yeah, the roof but not the window. Don't worry about it. I think it was 12. All right. So now let's go to the window open but not the roof. Don't worry about it. 6, I believe it was. And guess how many times the roof and the window have been closed? 87 times. 87 times. So what's the purpose of having this beautiful stadium that can just open up into the skies? The only time this thing should be closed is if it's raining. Besides that, it is football. I understand that it does get a little cold sometimes. That's how you get your fans hyped. People get excited whenever you get that. You have to stay warm. You think Kansas City is not loud during October, November for no reason? I understand that.
Playoffs? You
because they gotta get there.
Playoffs?
That's
I just hope we can win.
That's my biggest gripe. Well, last thing I'll say. So then I got on X and I saw Ursay say we're having mechanical issues. So that's the main thing. I'm like, man, what are we paying all those tax dollars for? The dang stadium, the roof don't even work right now. So it ain't even like they literally couldn't get it open. What are we paying all this money for?
Looks like you got this personal vendetta against this roof right now and these windows.
Yeah, it's a lot of money that pay on house taxes, and then I don't talk about the stadium tickets cost or the tickets for the games.
Oh yeah.
I
told you, I was like, I'm probably gonna come up to the Bears game, right?
Yeah.
I looked at the ticket prices. I said, I'm not coming up to the Bears game.
They're steep.
Caleb Williams or Safety Richardson is expensive, so I'll reevaluate in the near future because it's in the sky. It was like 300. So
yeah.
Hey,
that's it for me, dog.
That's it for you. Hey, that's it for us. Hey, we did a lot of talking today because it was our first. I mean, it was refreshing. Like I said, we got to see football. There's a lot to talk about, and guys, break it down in the comments if you are on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be it for us, everyone. Thank you for listening to the Colts Cast. We are live on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or any platform you use to listen to podcasts, and we'll be back next time to give you some more Indianapolis Colts content. I'll take care.
Take it easy.